You will each have 3 minutes to respond. The next question is, what are your thoughts on the preservation and or addition of parks, trails, open space, and natural resources within the city of San Jose, whether in incorporated or unincorporated areas? For example, there are insufficient parks in District 5. An open space area used as a park in District 4 was recently threatened. And there's an attempt to allow the repurposing of a 114 acres of private recreation and open space in District 8 without a community visioning process in advance. Cindy will go first, followed by Matt. Cindy?
Juan, I thought this was your question. So just to make some kind of broad observations again about parks and open space, I think that during COVID, one of the incredible experiences we had is that so many people got out and used our parks, and they explored different parks because they needed places to run their, make sure their kids could run and have fun. One of the challenges we have in East Side is not just that we're underparked, but we have a really high population. And so people are living very close together. And so that open space is actually critical. I think one of the opportunities we have is, instead of just the city of San Jose planning its open space separate of the county, is really looking at even more opportunities for co-purchasing and co-strategies on getting our trails and parks built. Now, some of that we do now a little bit, but there are so many agencies that are involved that aren't all around one table in a consistent way to be able to address parks and open spaces. As an example, the state of California, as you probably all know, has grants available to be able to buy down property. But the way to do that is to have joint proposals, instead of just having the city or the county be able to go forward, or even the water district, but really to be able to do that work together. The other thing I would say is that I think the city of San Jose has demonstrated a very high level of accomplishment when it's focused on it. And you can see that in the bike lanes. I think we have to have that same sort of focus on our trails so that we're able to make sure that people can get to and from locations using the trails. As an example, when you look at all of the new sites that are being built out around BART and light rail, those, and even the housing that's being built, sometimes the trails and the open space and the walkways come in last. So they're not designed as a core component of how to help people move without getting in a car and being able to access trails and open spaces in our communities. We can do better. We're working on it, but we're not where we need to be in terms of client-centered design. And then to the point that you raise about that particular piece of private recreation, again, I think regional plans are the way to go. And it allows us to leverage county resources, city resources, state resources, and sometimes even federal resources to make purchases where we're going to be able to preserve and protect land in the long run. We've also done this, as you know, in Coyote Valley. The county had the first I think it's the first climate change overlay in the country that we started on land that we were working on, because again, protecting open space so people can access it long into the future, be able to grow food, be able to protect our watersheds are very critical to the long-term health and vitality of the community that we live in.
All right, thank you, Matt.
Thank you. I think this is a really important issue for all of us living in a big city. Everybody deserves access to nature, access to safe, clean places for recreation and socializing outdoors. I co-chaired the Measure T campaign to help secure the funding to preserve 1,000 acres of land in North Coyote Valley. I've worked with the Open Space Authority on a number of initiatives and fought to get funding for investments in parks in my district, and I think it's critical that every district have equitable access to parks. We have the ability to measure the amount of acreage and the quality of our parks. We just upgraded our scoring system, and I will hold the council and our city staff accountable to delivering a minimum bar for the amount and the quality of parkland in every single neighborhood in the city. And we know that Eastside San Jose has been traditionally underserved in this and other ways. I think that our city, San Jose, has the potential to really have the world's best urban park and trail network. We have a lot of flat land. We have great access to open space. We have great weather. We have about We have about 100 acres of trails, and we have so many parks. We have the ability to have a really special, uniquely special trail and park system, but it has to be accessible to the public. People have to feel safe using it. I talk to residents every day who don't feel safe out on the trails and the parks. And so I think, back to your first question, we need to reduce and ultimately end street homelessness if we're going to take advantage of our parks. And finally, since I know I'm almost out of time, you talked about community engagement. I think that's really important. I don't want to see us, and in fact, I fought against a proposal that would have allowed developers to, by right, build out in our hillsides, which I think is wrong. And the same goes for the development that's proposed in District 8. There needs to be a strong community envisioning process in which community members can talk about what they need so that when we have investment and growth, it also works for the community. Thank you.